Welcome to the Teligent IP training series. My name is Seth, and today we're going to look at the Teligent Communicator. Specifically, we're going to look at the Communicator on a Windows device. We also have a Communicator available for Android, iOS, and Mac OS devices. Most of the communicators look similar, but look for those videos if you have specific questions on those. What you'll see here on my screen is the login screen. You should have login credentials that were sent to you by our orders and implementation team. If you did not receive that, please contact them. Once you have that information and you put it in, and you click sign in, you'll see that the device itself logs into your account. You can see your account here under outgoing account. You can also see your presence here at the top. You can also set either handset or speakerphone mode here from the very top of the soft phone. And with this, you can set different devices based on how you're going to be answering those phone calls. We'll get into those with the device settings later. You also have a volume control here and a drop-down menu that allows you to have a few other options you look at. If you click on the voicemail logo, you'll have a call initiated out to the voicemail platform. And with that voicemail platform, all you'll need to do is put in your voicemail password so that you can interact with your voicemails. If you have collaboration through Teligent Communicator, you can start instant messaging conversations here, and you'll be able to see presence when we start looking at our contacts list. You'll see here we can initiate phone calls in a couple of ways, either by the dial pad, which is the first tab on the left at the bottom, or by typing in the phone number here. I'm going to initiate a phone call here with Nicole. You'll see she's in my contacts, so I can click her name, and you'll see it's making that phone call to Nicole. With that phone call to Nicole, I've got the ability to be able to now have control over that call since it's been established. I can see that my network quality is good by hovering over this icon here. If it's not green, you'll see that there are other responses there. You can even see here I'm receiving an inbound call from Alan currently. If I wanted to put Nicole on hold and answer Alan's call, I would merely click this green button. I'm actually going to continue my conversation with Nicole, but have Alan go to voicemail. I have the ability to see my microphone here and the input levels of my microphone, and I can click on my microphone to mute my conversation. I also have the ability to transfer this call. I just enter a number. Once I enter that number, I can initiate that transfer by picking the person that I want to call and the option of how I want this call transferred. Call first is a warm transfer. Transfer now is a cold transfer. So you'll see if I click call first here, it puts the call with Nicole on hold and initiates a call to Kipling, who I'm going to transfer this call to. Once Kipling answers that call, we can have that conversation. I've got the ability then to put Kipling on hold and go back and talk to Nicole, maybe finish my conversation there, put Nicole on hold, and then finalize the transfer by clicking transfer now. You'll see that call ended on my end, and Nicole and Kipling are now talking to each other. The other thing we can do is we can start a conference call. So if I initiate again a call with Nicole here, once this call is established, I've got the ability to invite to a conference call. And when I invite to a conference call, I can choose another person that I want to have that conference with. We'll choose Kipling. We'll add that person. And you can see now I have both calls in the single conversation. I can split those calls off if I need to. I can hang up on individual participants if I need to. We can even start a video chat by clicking on this Start Video button. I can put the entire conference on hold, and I can pick the entire conference back up. If I need to add DTMF tones, I can click this button here and then add DTMF tones to get through things like directories or IVRs. If I want to add another person, I can even click Invite to Conference Call again and choose another person. This is my cell phone. I'll add that conversation here. and you can see here we've even got another call that comes in and has all three of these together. If I want to continue the conversation with my cell phone and Kipling, I can make Nicole's call drop off, and we just have Kipling and myself now in this call. To end the entire conversation, I click End Conference, and it closes all of those calls off. If I click on this next tab, it gives me a list of contacts. These are contacts that I have added to the contact list here inside of the soft phone. These are directory contacts, and those come from the corporate directory inside of BroadSoft. If I want to add more directory contacts, I can click here on the Directory tab, and I can search for individual users. So I'm going to search for Alan. I see I've got Alan Parasol and I've got Alan Walker. I'm going to add Alan Walker as a contact. You'll see he's now here as a contact, as well as I've got the ability to be able to add him as a favorite, which is this star tab. You can see now I've got Aubrey and Alan as favorites, so that if this contacts tab gets too big, I can have a smaller location to be able to deal with the people I deal with regularly. With the contacts, you've also got the ability to upload contacts or import contacts, and you do that here at the top under Contacts. You can click on Import Contacts, and you can see you get options for a comma-separated value file, a vCard file, or an Outlook or Exchange server. If you click on Outlook or Exchange, what it does is it looks for local files that you've got, and then you have to associate the field you want to use for a soft phone address and for an IM address if you need to associate those fields inside of your Outlook. Here we've got the Notifications tab. You'll see here I run Jabra headsets, and it wants me to install and run Jabra Direct so that I can have more control over my devices inside of the soft phone. You may get other notifications, but this is where those will pop up in this Notifications tab. Next to Notifications, we have a list of recents. You can see these are all my recent calls. I can search them here with this window. I can separate them out merely by missed calls if I'd like to, or I can pop that window out completely and have my history be totally separate from my soft phone itself. If I click this logo, it'll pull it back into the soft phone. The other location that we want to make you aware of is inside of Preferences under the soft phone option at the top. The biggest place you'll want to look here is Devices. You have two options like we showed you here at the beginning of the video, either handset mode or speakerphone mode, and you can choose which device picks up based on handset mode or speakerphone mode here under Preferences. So you can see when I'm in handset mode, I've got my Jabra Link 370 picking up with both speakers and microphone. And in speakerphone mode, I have it left to default device. I can change that to, let's say I want that to be my Plantronics BT600 for both. So now when I am set into speakerphone mode, it will use my Plantronics rather than using the Jabra like it is here. For other devices, it gives you the ability to have your ringer happen in a different place. So currently that's happening on my laptop computer speakers. You can choose a different camera device, and you can change the max resolution for those devices. You also have the ability to test the devices and the camera here from this window. You can see as I talk into this microphone, the input levels. It's telling me my microphone works. And then I've got the ability to play a sound through that same piece to be able to test that as well. The last place that we'll show you here under Preferences is under BroadWorks. This gives you the ability to make changes to things like Do Not Disturb and call forwarding. So you'll see at the top I can turn Do Not Disturb on merely by clicking that button. I've got the ability to ring splash when Do Not Disturb is not when it is enabled, and I can make those changes here. I also have call forwarding options here, simultaneous ring options, and BroadWorks Anywhere options. If you have questions on how those work or how you can best utilize your soft phone with those options, please contact your sales representative. Thank you for watching our training today, and if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Thanks.